transcripts because they didn't want it known that the police officer was actually a convicted criminal. So I got off on the High Court, got the licence back, and then went back to the District Court 10 minutes before the hearing. The police dropped the case. So that was just a massive amount of hassle. And when I got poisoned, my custody papers awarding me custody of my child was in the mail, and I'd been battling for 8 years. And so the New Zealand government will actually murder a father to stop them getting custody, because the primary requirement of a pedophile is that the biological father is removed, and they don't want any father getting custody or writing a book on how to get custody and surviving. So there was I got custody papers, are in the mail, I didn't know yet, and then there was a murder attempt, and then lost the licence and $1,500 in fines, which was all absolutely bogus. So the New Zealand government will actually murder a father to stop them getting custody. It is that bad. It's that bad in New Zealand. It is. They do murder, but they murder with poisons on the steering wheel. Right, but we can carry on with this, because I started to write a bit of history after this. By that first murder attempt, I'd already published one book, and that was a book called Are You My Father?, which is, it's called Are You My Father? The Family Court and Other Experiments. And that was on the family court, all the statistics and a lot of the stories, the hassle of trying to access a kid. And the family court is basically a crime creation movement, because 90% of all crime in New Zealand is created by fatherless kids. So the judiciary is a crime creation movement. And the district court used to fund the family court, and 90% of all the criminals that go through the district court don't have a father. So the courts are a crime creation movement, as well as doing murders.
Would I be
yeah, carry on, sorry.
Would I be correct to infer that you did receive the papers and did take custody of your own son?
Yeah, I do have custody, and you've been living with me ever since.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah, but check this out. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. The counsel for the child involved that year charged $1.2 million in legal aid fees. He was the second biggest charger in legal aid. So a year, just getting $1.2 million a year, and all that person is doing, it's Paul Gagan, all he's actually doing is stopping fathers getting custody. So he gets $1.2 million for that. And as soon as my case was finished, Paul Gagan nominated himself as a judge. None of the lawyers in Hamilton supported it. And he was accepted as a judge, and now he's destroying lives, families in Rotorua and Taupo. So it's just corruption on corruption on corruption.
My guess must be that books of yours on topics like these must be bestsellers in New Zealand.
New Zealand is a country that censors by ignoring. If you publish something that the judiciary or police or government doesn't like, they will simply ignore it. So that's what they do. So I've written one of the better sociological books on New Zealand. It's about 350 pages, and all accurate. And I got a lot of the statistics from the government and from the family court and even from the police. So, it's undeniably accurate.
What's the title? What's the title of that book, Greg?
Are You My Father?
Is it published? Has it been published yet?
Yeah, it was published in 2002.
Okay, good.
But during the writing of it, during the research of it, the police didn't even want that published. So there was one stage where I had 3 police cars outside the house, dog paddy wagon, and I was sitting inside. It's a 2-story building. I was sitting inside with my lawyer, and I had friends climbing up and down the ladder up the back window, bringing scones and cups of tea and stuff. Meanwhile, the police were outside the door with the loud hailers, and they got a battering ram and bashed the door in And so the whole door and door frame came off. This is in 1999. And an hour later, I got a rent refund. Evicted with a rent refund, you know. And so what happens is that in New Zealand, when you're not a criminal, you get attacked by the police to a criminal record. And when the police were outside the door with the battering ram, they rang up comms, communications to police, to see what sort of a person I was. And I've got no convictions at all. And they read off a list of 30 convictions, as though 30 things as though they were convictions, and finished it off with, he's a real bad bastard. So then they smashed the door in with a battering ram, and then me and my lawyer sitting next to each other with a video, so we're videoing the whole thing, and they sent in their biggest guy, who was this Maori Polynesian guy, about 6'7" and weighing about 25 stone, and he sees us sitting there calmly drinking cups of tea. He's going, what the? So it's just stitch up after stitch up, you know, because the people in the judiciary are such criminals. You know, they are heroin traffickers, methamphetamine traffickers, they're murderers, they're running the mafia. The judiciary in New Zealand is running the mafia. That, you know, when they find some honest guy who's not compromised, who's actually publishing books, they get really, really scared. You know, it's undermining the establishment. And the establishment is actually crime. The establishment is not peace or lack of crime. It's the opposite.
Fascinating.
It is.
Good God, man. You are living through it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But check this out. Check this out. Like, you know, after the second murder attempt, I've been removed from Auckland by police harassment. Like, I had helicopters chasing my car and detectives following, one coming the other way and two others coming up the side streets. Just massive harassment. I had Matrix Security, which is the SIS in New Zealand, following me and parking in the right-of-way next door and eyeing me in the car. So I eventually got kicked out of Auckland, so I lived on Waiheke Island. And this, I noticed these Mossad doing reconnaissance on me. And one Mossad there was managing placemakers, which is kind of part of Fletcher's. And Hugh Fletcher is married to the Chief Justice, Shana Elias, and she's Jewish, and she's the highest-ranking Mossad agent in New Zealand. So the Chief Justice of New Zealand, Shana Elias, is the highest-ranking Mossad agent in New Zealand. So I've got these Mossad following me, and there's three coming in to the supermarket as I'm leaving. There's a 50-year-old guy, and he's with a 35-year-old woman, arms around each other, and laughing too much like bad spies. And then the hitman walks in behind them. He's about 32. He's about 6'2", slightly dark skin, dark hair. And he kneels down in the doorway so I can't get out and does up his shoelace for about a very long time, like about 30 seconds. And the whole time he's doing up his shoelace, he's looking up at me, sizing up my body size, my weight, getting a good look, you know. So I knew the Mossad were looking at me. And then within 10 days, another Mossad agent was doing reconnaissance on me. He actually had his Jewish name written on the side of the van. And he does a U-turn in front of the house and he gets stuck in the mud, so he needs a tow truck. So I go out and I said to him, okay, can I swear in the program? Can I say what the exact language is?
Sure, yeah, you may.
Yeah, okay, good. So, you know, I go up to this Mossad agent and I say, I know you cunts killed Michael King for Shana Elias. And he looks at me he's about face to face for about 2 feet away. So it's like a spy off, you know. and he looks at me, you know, right in the eyes, you know. He's checking I'm genuine in that. And then he looks, I would see if I'm fluttering eyes with any fear or anything. And then he looks down to his left. And that was his kinesthetic memory. And he looks back at me and he goes, why the fuck do you get caught up in this sort of shit?
Not denying anything, mind you.
What's that?
Not denying anything, mind you.
No, but